Photoshop can be your friend.
Bro, but it wasn't like, oh, I could sneak my way in and not have to get shot. It was the fact that they were literally murdering people to get them to watch their clown show. For a team that literally loses every single motherfucking week. You want me to put some poison in my body to watch your fucking faggoty ass team lose? Mark Davis.
I lost 3-4 jobs because I refused to take it. I refuse.
I bet you feel better about it now.
The pandemic created at least 40 new big pharma billionaires. Pharmaceutical corporations like Moderna and Pfizer made $1,000 of profit every second from the COVID-19 vaccine. More than two-thirds of Congress received campaign funding from pharmaceutical companies in the 2020 election. Pfizer chairman Albert Bourla told Time magazine in July 2020 that his company was developing a COVID vaccine for the good of humanity, not for money. And of course, Pfizer made $100 billion in profit in 2022. And may I just mention, finally, and this is also a fact, that you, the American public, funded the development of that. The German public funded the BioNTech vaccine. When it came to the profits, they took the profits. When it came to the funding, you paid.
Hey, welcome to the episode of the Gatsby Podcast. What up, D?
What up, Joe? Another episode. Yeah. What episode number is this? How long?
It's like 79.
Damn, we've been doing this for 79 weeks.
Yeah, bro. Didn't miss a week yet.
Didn't miss a week.
There were some weeks where I wanted to miss some fucking weeks.
What's new with you, man? What's new?
Just moved into the new house.
Yep.
I think I already said that last week.
Yeah.
Just unpacking tons of boxes. And,
yeah.
Slowly filling the small bubble.
Okay. Cool.
Did you hear me bleep my swear word? Because I'm trying not to swear anymore.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, how you talk represent.
Like it.
Yeah.
Anything bad. So this episode we were supposed to do it like fucking early on, but they took the 9/11 video off 16 minutes after it was uploaded, and it scared me from doing this episode because this shit is so heavily banned. But I found a video on YouTube where that's what we're going to go through. I was going to get my own videos and gather all this information, but this person posted this on YouTube yesterday and it's still up. So we're going to go through their video with the shit that they gathered, and hopefully it won't get taken down because it's already up. Does that make sense?
Okay.
This is going to be a two-parter because it's an hour-long video.
Oh gosh.
So we'll do a half hour or 20 minutes today, 20 minutes next week, and 20 minutes. It's either going to be a two-parter or a three-parter because it's an hour-long video, and then the videos we watch is 20 minutes, and we got to talk too. It's going to be over 40-minute long. Usually it's half hour, 40 minutes.
Okay.
It might be a three-parter, actually. Depends on how long it's going. We're already 6 minutes in, so it's probably going to be a three-parter. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it fucking cracking, bro.
Is the screen shared?
Let's get
it is.
Fucking cracking, man. I'm sorry. I'm a little excited.
DJ.
Dudge in the house. DJ Dudge.
I used to call him Dudge because he went by DJ.
Dude.
Yo, Dudge. What up, Dudge?
We were friends for like 8 years and you didn't never know my real name.
Yeah. But we weren't like close friends.
Yeah.
You were my brother's best friend at the time.
That's true. I was your brother's best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not anymore?
No, I'm just saying at that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What the fuck?
All right, bud.
Real
this
weird.
is... I'll just play the video and then you can recognize what we're talking about here. You ready? Guess what it's about. Just based on what I said.
Who are they?
Nope. No, because I just been stalling because there's so much evidence gathering on that. And I said that we do that, and we haven't.
Hold on. Let me. This is.
All right, I'm just gonna play it.
All right, just go ahead. Yeah, just go.
All right.
My name is Dr. Mike Yeadon. I left Pfizer in 2011.
COVID is
What we were
real.
being told about this virus and what we needed to do in order to stay safe was simply not true. So it's not just a matter of disagreeing professionally. It's just complete nonsense. And we can certainly talk about the unreliability, untrustworthy nature of PCR testing. Everything your government has told you about this virus, everything you need to do to stay safe is a lie. You should disregard all announcements about case rates in your community. They're not telling the truth. And if they're not telling the truth, that means there's something else afoot. And I'm here today to tell you.
Hold the fucking phone. Hold on. Pause it.
Okay.
Who's this? Hold on. I
This
saw
is the former president of Pfizer?
the guy.
Former vice president of Pfizer?
Pfizer. They were out there making the schmack schmeen.
You can say it. They say it a million times in this video. You can say it.
Okay, they're out there. So this is the former president of Pfizer telling everybody that the COVID statistics and the COVID vaccine was all bullshit.
Yep.
The guy who was making...
It might be vice president. I don't remember what the beginning.
The guy who was making millions of dollars off of this vaccine.
Yeah.
Out here telling everybody that it was bullshit. Okay, I like this. Keep it going. Wow. Weird, huh? He said, let me quote him. If you're listening to this, something else is afoot.
It is a foot.
It's a fucking foot.
God, man, your teeth are so fucking white. I've been fucking brushing the shit out of mine. I can't get them to go away.
Dude, my teeth are
fuck about my teeth for
so yellow, dude.
Dude, I didn't care about my teeth for over 3 decades.
It's
so hard to reverse fucking teeth.
Dude, there's this toothpaste I use. It's well, I know what you'll like to hear. Baking soda. If you brush with just baking soda, it's really good for your teeth. But there's this. I'll take a picture. I'll send it to you. I saw this shit. You can't even buy it in the store.
Well,
I don't know.
That's good. All right, then you've calmed down some of mine. I'm not fucking touching it.
But I'll figure it out. I'll send it to you. You can share it with these guys if you want. But it works really well.
Yeah, I usually brush with bentonite clay.
Okay, I don't.
And my teeth have gotten lighter than they used to be, but I don't. It's just they're still
like. Did you feel your mouth just lifting off the ground all on its own? My teeth. You just said your teeth have gotten lighter than they used to be.
All right, back to the fucking video.
That there is something very, very bad happening. And if you don't pay attention, you will soon lose any chance to do anything about it. And don't say you weren't warned, because I've been warning people as long as I can and as hard as I can that governments around the world, and certainly yours locally, is lying to you in various ways that are easy for you to establish.
We have 33 confirmed positive tests.
We have 33 Pennsylvanians who have tested positive for
COVID-19. Today we have 33 cases.
There were 33 new cases.
The state of Minnesota today reported 33 new COVID-19 related deaths.
There are 33 confirmed cases in Arkansas.
That's the largest single-day increase so far, raising the total to 33.
33.
There were 33 confirmed cases in North Carolina.
33.
There was 33 everywhere.
Yes.
I think that was Red Team Go. I think 33 is like Red Team Go. Everybody goes, okay, let's do it. It's time.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, there's like literally 1,000 33s and 33 new cases. 33 people died in fucking Hong Kong.
The number 33, we all know what that represents. Everywhere, every single day, it was like, well, 12 more cases, which now brings the state to 33.
Yes.
We had 33 cases today.
Yes.
We had 11 cases, which now it's 33. 33 more people. I'm going, oh my God, how dumb do you have to see to not understand this is going on? Yeah, that was green light go. We're off to the races.
Yeah.
You've been subject to propaganda and lies by people who are very well trained in how they do that. And if you find one thing your government has said which is clearly not true, I ask you this: why would you believe anything else they've told you? Don't you think that retired ex-Pfizer guy might have something after all? I beg of you to no longer assume what you're being told is true. I can't sweep away highly accurately done propaganda by people who are lying to you. If you would like to stand behind the desk called Comfortable Lies, there's absolutely nothing I can do to stop you. But if you would like to go to the desk called Uncomfortable Truths, which is the one I'm sitting behind, then...
What do you think so far about the 33 stuff? That's the Illuminati Freemason number.
It is? I didn't know that.
Yep.
It's been my favorite number for a very, very long time. Larry Bird in the house. Just kidding. Grant Hill. I'm a Grant Hill fan. Who else is 33? No, was Grant Hill 33? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, who fucking cares about basketball? I hope that whole league fucking ceases to exist tomorrow.
This is fucking wild. This is fucking wild, man. Here's the thing, though. You knew something was wrong the whole time. Could feel it in the bottom of your fucking stomach. That's why, and I still to this day probably could say I've never been vaccinated. Never, dude. I pretty much turned down a promotion because I wouldn't get a vaccine. Not that it was offered, but it was implicated in the requirements for the position. Yeah. So I was like, "Fuck you! I'm not applying. I'm not putting that shit in my body." And surprise, like. People have been mad at me for my position on this shit the whole time. But surprise, surprise, you don't fucking say it was all a bunch of bullshit, man. Sorry for yelling.
Sorry. No, you're good. For some reason, your microphone doesn't get mad loud when you yell. Mine does. You need a better mic. I just bought a new mic. All right, we're going to go back.
Get a Shure mic, man. They fucking...
Oh, the fucking expensive... artist mics. All right, here we go.
Okay, that looked really gay.
History
good thing
is truly
okay.
At a turning point.
Are you afraid of the flu?
COVID-19.
We didn't really understand the fatality rate. We didn't understand that it's a fairly low fatality rate and that it's a disease mainly of the elderly, kind of like flu is.
Do you hear what he's saying? And it mostly affects the elderly. And he said it was like the flu. That's what he said. Now, if I said those things, they'd take my channel down on YouTube. And this is what we ruined everyone's life over. And now he's admitting it. And no one gives a shit. No one. This isn't going to be run on CNN for a week.
When someone dies of cancer, for instance, generally it's pneumonia or the flu that takes them out. It's like they're so weak that if they get the flu or if they even get a bad cold or pneumonia, that's everybody knows, right? That's common knowledge, right? Yep. But they don't put the flu for cause of death. They put cancer still, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to COVID, which is same symptoms, it's a coronavirus, they mark that as the cause of death. What if everybody that died of the flu that had cancer and the flu took them out, what if they marked that as a flu death? How many flu deaths would we have a year? Like 1 million? Right. We would have like 1 million flu deaths a year, right?
More, yeah.
Right?
Do they do that with...
It's interesting, isn't it?
They had no flu cases, which was the wildest shit ever. Like, if you look at the flu, there's a map that they had like red for a positive test of the flu during flu season, and then they showed 2020. In the year 2020, it's like a non-existent flu season.
Yeah.
It was the lowest recorded numbers of flu ever.
There's your flu last year. Here's your flu this year. Literally doesn't even exist. It's not even there. Look. And again, this is the CDC's numbers. CDC's numbers. The flu is magically gone. It's all COVID now.
I just want to be clear in terms of the definition of people dying of COVID. So the case definition is very simplistic. It means at the time of death, it was a COVID positive diagnosis. So that means that if you were in hospice and had already been given, a few weeks to live, and then you also were found to have COVID, that would be counted as a COVID death. It means that even if you died of a clear alternate cause, but you had COVID at the same time, it's still listed as a COVID death.
What she said is, it doesn't matter what you die of. If we test you and you have COVID, we're marking it as a COVID death from a test that can't even distinguish COVID from the flu.
Governments all over the world, and including the United States, sent out instructions to doctors saying, change the way you fill out death certificates. And what they told them to do is essentially attribute everything as much as possible to COVID. And so then if they had someone who died of flu symptoms, they would say, oh, well, those are the symptoms of COVID, and they put COVID on the death certificate. And they would never, they would just not consider the flu because they're told to put COVID. And then you have all of the death numbers showing these COVID deaths, and then you look at the flu deaths and they're like practically zero. Right? Now, something that happens every year over and over again doesn't simply go away one year. What actually happened is that flu cases were just relabeled as COVID cases to give the appearance that there was a new deadly disease. But there really wasn't any. There was just those flu patients and then some other patients that were murdered by the medical establishment that had other illnesses. You know, like some of them had died of a gunshot wound and they were labeled as a COVID death.
Wild, bro.
Right? One pedestrian got hit by a bus in the UK and was labeled as a COVID death.
So yeah, they're clearly just marking every single death as COVID, no matter what.
Right.
And that's why the numbers were so big. And they got the entire country panicking, not working, not opening their businesses. They shut everything fucking down. Businesses went under. Everybody knows the story. It completely fucked everything.
Yeah, it was their part of it. I mean, I can't. I don't want to attribute it all to them getting Trump out of office, but I think a lot of it has to do with them trying to get Trump out of office.
Yeah, and to kill us.
Well, yeah, that's Bill Gates' plan, anyways.
Yeah.
Mass depopulation, right? So
yeah, he got that clip. It'll be here in here somewhere. At some point.
Yeah. If you guys didn't know, right? If you guys didn't know, that's his whole shit, right? Is control the food, control the population, and then mass depopulation. That's the guy. That's Bill Gates.
Yep.
If anybody's aware.
The guy who owns more farmland than anybody else in America.
Right. Also owns a large amount of property on Maui.
I wonder if his place got messed up.
Yeah.
It didn't. We can stay away from this subject if you want to. So they were putting patients on remdesivir and ventilators, and that was killing patients. Yeah. I know one person, out of this whole COVID thing, I only know one person that supposedly passed away from COVID. And we don't have to, I can cut this if you want.
You're good, man. You're good.
How fucked up is that?
Well, speaking of him, man, he had kidney transplant, right?
Yeah.
So he already takes anti-rejection medication, which makes it so your body doesn't fight off somebody else's organs inside of you, which makes you susceptible to things like the flu or colds, right? And when he got pneumonia, they couldn't get the fluid out of his lungs, right? So that is what, in my opinion, I'm no doctor, but in my opinion, that's what was killing a lot of people. Is they put them on ventilators because they didn't know how to treat it at first, and that's why all those people in New York City died. All the old people in the nursing homes, and all the old people in fucking Italy, right? I mean, that's where a lot of people died early, was in Italy, but a lot of their population were elderly, right? So they didn't know how to treat it. They put them on vents, and then a lot of people died, and that happened to my friend. So is what it is, man. Unfortunately, it's very sad, but that's what happens when the government plays games with people's lives. So
all right, we'll get back to that.
Half the reason I'll never fucking trust them again. Fuck you, government.
I'm with that.
It is.
So there are also new questions over whether Florida counties are correctly tabulating coronavirus deaths.
One of the answers really surprised us. He told us that one person actually died in a motorcycle accident. And he told us that had gone into the COVID numbers, and he had asked the state to remove that number. And when asked if it had actually been removed or cleared from that data, he said he didn't think so, he wasn't sure, but he was going to double check on that. And so that's when we started asking questions here.
Everyone who's listed as a COVID death doesn't mean that was the cause of the death.
By this point last year, there were over 174,000 confirmed cases of flu. This flu season, look at that, has only 1,499 confirmed cases. That is less than 1% of the total this time last year.
PCR tests can't distinguish between the flu and COVID. Are we looking at that? Are we concerned about that?
We have got virtually no flu in Australia. Like last year, there is virtually no flu to be found.
They have this category of flu cases and their mortality statistics, and also just the incidence of flu.
Dude, I just figured it out.
What?
COVID cured the flu.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
COVID cured the flu.
So there are some good qualities about COVID.
Good to know.
Okay.
And suddenly, when COVID came, the flu just disappeared.
Only one person in the entire state died from the flu.
It was unexpected and very surprising, but literally there was nearly no flu this year in the Southern Hemisphere.
In partnership with CDC and state and local governments, utilizing the surveillance systems that are available, what we just talked about, the flu surveillance system, because we no longer have flu.
Said the quiet part out loud.
The flu is magically gone.
Study the numbers in 2017 and 2018. We had 50 to 60 million with the flu, and we had a similar death rate. In the deaths in the United States were 43,545, similar to the flu of 2017, 2018. We always have between 37 and 60,000 deaths in the United States every single year. No pandemic talk, no shelter in place, no shutting down of businesses, no sending doctors home. And we don't necessarily report all of our flu tests. We do thousands of flu tests every year. We don't report every one because the flu is ubiquitous. People that die from flu, with flu I should say, it's not from flu. Their lungs were compromised by COPD. They had a heart attack 2 years ago. They have a weakened body. We aren't pressured to test for flu. But ER doctors now, my friends that I talk to say, it's interesting, when I'm writing up my death report, I'm being pressured to add COVID. Why is that? Why are we being pressured to add COVID?
I want to state that we do not have a medical pandemic or epidemic. We also state that COVID-19 should not be on list A for any longer, because we now know that it is a normal flu virus, and the normal flu virus isn't on list A. So we are also starting a lawsuit to the state of the Netherlands to bring this in with a large group of doctors and a really large group of nurses also, because we have contact with 87,000 nurses that do not want the vaccine that is being prepared for us. I want to state, if there is no pandemic, I am wondering why our kids are in schools with masks. There's no reason for panic. Also in the medical practice, there's no reason for panic. The panic is created by these false positive PCR tests. 89% until 94% of those PCR tests are false positive.
Use common sense. Stop trying to convince yourself of a lie because your side is wrong. Stop trying to be right, do right, and do right is meaning you got lied to and fell for this shit.
Sam Tripoli, fucking tell him, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop being mad because you got lied to and you fell for this bullshit, man.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Dude, hey, we all fall for shit. It's part of life.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you were gullible. I'm sorry you were naive. I'm sorry you felt scared. But you got lied to, dog. And it's okay. Let's move on. Just admit it and let's fucking move on. So we don't have to go through the same stupid ass shit all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Because pretty soon down the road, right? Guess what? There's going to be something else.
Yep.
Something else. And you know what happens eventually, though? The good old story of the boy who cried wolf. Eventually something's going to come along that really does kill people. And there's people like me and you that have seen this shit one too many fucking times who doesn't trust the government. And then we're going to be like, yo, fuck that. That's fucking bullshit. And then we're going to die. Because, I'm just saying, eventually something will come along.
Nah.
There are things, bro.
I can't do it, bro. I vibe too high. Hive and fire.
I'm just saying.
Hive and fire.
You would think these highly intelligent people would be smart enough to not cry wolf.
Highly intelligent.
Well, I say that.
No, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sarcasm was implied.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Picked it up.
It's okay to get bamboozled, man. I said at the beginning of the show.
I was
we've all been bamboozled once or twice in our lives.
Bro,
Okay.
I was bamboozled my entire fucking life. I believed everything that the fucking news said. I believed if a movie came out based on a true story, I believed the fucking movie. Like, come
yeah,
on,
you did love some movies. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, I was the fucking most. I can't think of another person that I know that was more wrapped up in the Matrix.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
Michael.
crazy. That's crazy, bro. You were living in that bitch.
I know.
And now look at you. You're trying to break this motherfucker. That's crazy. Pretty cool. I like it.
Me too.
Let's keep going.
Senza toccarlo neanche nella superficie, lo passiamo sulla frutta, in questo senso.
Kiwi è venuto positivo.
Ripetiamo l'operazione.
They're testing fruit?
Yes.
Do they all test positive?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tamponi come
Holy shit!
positivi nell'SM.
So dumb, dude. Orange juice.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
the PCR is just completely invalid because even if it did work,
Well, did you see how they were making those things? They had like little kids rolling them fucking things on the ground with their bare hands
Really?
and bare feet. Yeah, making these fucking tests, bro.
Oh, I didn't even know. I didn't see that.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, bro.
Like little, and don't get me wrong. These kids don't choose to be born in poverty, but like they're forcing these little poor Asian kids to fucking make these tests with dirt ass floors with dirty ass feet. Bro, like what are they doing, bro? It was so stupid. It was so dumb. And the masks, we had the same people making the fucking masks.
Bro. I didn't wear a mask at all.
There
and
was
I
no
got
quality control.
I got so much shit for it.
Oh, I remember.
Bro.
I remember being in your favorite casino hotel.
I almost fucking got in a fight over it. I'm not. Fuck you, dude. Get the fuck out of my face.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, man. It was fucking. Back to it.
as a test, well, what are you measuring? Because the only way to develop a test to measure a virus is to first demonstrate the virus and then find some part of it that you can measure more easily. But the PCR test as it is completely meaningless, and it doesn't matter how many times they amplify it. That's just a way to see what they can do is they can manipulate the test. And this is why they use PCR, because it's so easy to manipulate. There are at least 3 different variables that you can tweak to change your outcome. And the governments are...
All right, I gotta pause it. I never took a test either.
Oh, good.
Do they really jam that fucking Q-tip halfway into your fucking skull?
Yes. A lot.
Did you take a test?
I did. Mine were never that bad.
Holy fuck.
But I've watched them in person go very deep, bro. It's not okay. It seemed like they were trying to give people lobotomies for a minute.
Maybe.
You know?
There's a if you look at the ingredients on the tests, there's a ingredient on there. It might be in this video. I haven't watched this video yet. I saw little parts of it, but there was a ingredient on there that's active when wet. So when your fucking nostrils wet it,
right,
it fucking activates, and they're fucking rubbing it inside of you.
Yeah, yeah.
They might talk about it on this video. I'm not sure.
Using the results of this test to drive the policy. So if they want to institute a new policy or initiate more fear in the public, they can tweak the test. You know, one of the ways is by increasing the amplification cycles, but there are other ways. And that will increase the number of positives.
If you get a cycle threshold of 35 or more, that the chances of it being replication competent are minuscule. So I think if somebody does come in with 37, 38, even 36, you got to say, it's just dead nucleotides, period.
The man thinks you can take a blood sample and stick it in an electron microscope, and if it's got a virus in there, you'll know it. He doesn't understand electron microscopy, and he doesn't understand medicine, and he should not be in a position like he's in. Most of those guys up there on the top are just total administrative people, and they don't know anything about what's going on at the bottom. You know, those guys have got an agenda. You can't expect the sheep to really respect the best and the brightest. They don't know the difference. Who do we trust? Fauci? Fauci doesn't know enough to, you know. If Fauci wants to get on television with somebody who knows a little bit about this stuff and debate him, he could easily do it because he's been asked.
The cases are based on a PCR test, which Mike Eden, former chief scientist for Pfizer, has pointed out that roughly 90% of the so-called cases are false positive. So we don't have sick people. And it was in the press this week that 86% of the positive cases had no symptoms.
That's a scam. That's fraud. You guys manipulate the data. It's been manipulating the data. So it's a scamdemic. So I'll never refer to this one as a pandemic. But it's really only three. Like, what is it? What's going on? It either came from some kind of animal, bat, monkey, snake, whatever, some kind of animal, or some evil scientist leaked it. Gain of function, money's going up, virology labs, all that shit. Or all they did is hijack the flu. Because the tests they used, the PCR tests, were flu tests. They weren't COVID tests.
If they could find this virus in you at all, and with PCR, if you do it well, you can find almost anything in anybody. It starts making you believe in the sort of Buddhist notion that everything is contained in everything else, right? I mean, because if you can amplify one single molecule up to something that you can really measure, which PCR can do, then there's just very few molecules that you don't have at least one single one of them in your body, okay? So that could be thought of as a misuse of it, just to claim that it's meaningful. Those tests are all based on things that are invisible, and the results are inferred in a sense. PCR is separate from that. It's just a process that's used to make a whole lot of something out of something. That's what
also,
it is. But it's not. It doesn't tell you that you're sick, and it doesn't tell you that the thing you ended up with really was going to hurt you or anything like that.
So that's the creator of the test telling you that the test is fucking. It's basically nothing. You can find anything in it.
Shit.
Yeah. All right.
The first story about that there was some, animal species harboring a virus, and, the official story is that it's related to a bat virus, or at least that's what the fake computer genome says that it is. And so that's kind of the official narrative. But once again, they haven't actually shown evidence of the virus itself. So we can dismiss that story because there's no virus to speak of. If it was caused by a virus, we should be able to find that virus in the people who are sick with it in nature. And if we can't find that, then we have to look for some other cause, right? And of course, if you can't find a virus and then you say that you make a treatment based on a virus, that doesn't even make sense. Like, it couldn't possibly work.
We don't have sick people.
How come nobody's dying? If this was so deadly, dude, when someone in the NFL gets fucking COVID, no one's like, oh my God, we're gonna talk to the parents. Like Nick Chubb, he's my favorite running back, he's on the Cleveland Browns. He gets COVID, he's not even sick.
How did you feel?
I felt good.
Did you have symptoms? Or?
No, I didn't really have any symptoms. I felt bad maybe one day, but other than that, I felt great. I felt good, I felt like I could play.
How about in jiu-jitsu, nobody's dead? Jiu-jitsu is the opposite of social distancing. That's why a lot of jiu-jitsu people ain't falling for this shit, because we ain't dying. The only people dying in jiu-jitsu are people that got the vax and then they have heart attacks. Those are the ones that are dying.
Soccer players.
Yeah.
Coming in with fire today, Eddie. You just blew my mind a little bit, because thinking back before the vaccine was available, you never heard about these soccer stars falling over. If you can get myocarditis from having COVID and you can also get it from the vaccine, why is it just after the vaccine that we're getting all these montages of athletes dying?
Athletes in high school are dropping dead of heart attacks. I saw a TV ad.
That's the shit
when your
that pisses me
child
off.
has a heart attack, what you don't.
All the myocarditis. Yeah. Well, also no. So it was proven that COVID, even before, didn't affect kids too much, but they push in this vaccine on children, And then you see a huge spike in myocarditis in young boys after the vaccine. I got nephews, bro. And sadly, I'm pretty sure that they were bamboozled into getting this shit. You know, and I'm not their parent. I don't make the choices for them. But God forbid had something happened, I would have lost my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, it's... Bro, I have friends that have babies that are... You know, it's hard to tell them what they should do with their fucking kids.
Yeah, you can't tell people to do what to do with their kids. And especially seeing that you don't have kids, right?
Exactly.
Whatever I say doesn't matter. I don't have kids. I know nothing about it, right? So my opinion is shit. But that doesn't mean hold on. That doesn't mean I don't care, right? Just because I don't have kids of my own.
Shit. Your opinion isn't shit, though. Just because you don't have kids doesn't mean your opinion is shit. If you've done the research and you know what's in the vaccines, you should be able to tell anybody fucking anything. The reason I don't tell some people stuff is because they're still wrapped up in the Matrix and they don't want to hear it and they'll get offended and then we won't be friends anymore. So that's why I don't say it. But it doesn't mean your opinion is shit. It just means...
Well, no. I mean, to the opinion of somebody without kids to a parent is shit.
Nothing. Yeah,
it's nothing. Right. That's what I meant by it. You know.
But if you've done the research, it's shit to them because they don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Well,
that's it.
Have his time. When your child has a heart attack, what are you talking about? When your child has a heart attack, what are you talking about?
Fucking real life commercial right here.
Don't tell me that fucking the vaccine doesn't have anything to do with kids getting fucking heart problems, because I never heard of this before the vaccine was introduced. Just common sense tells you that these fucking kids, something's going on, because I never remember going in school, oh, did you hear about Billy? Oh yeah, dude, he had a heart attack and died. Never!
Epidemiology of myocarditis and pericarditis following mRNA vaccines in Ontario, Canada. By vaccine product, schedule, and interval. Now here's their abstract. Importance. Increased rates of myocarditis and pericarditis following the COVID-19 mRNA vaccines have been observed. However, little data are available related to product-specific differences, which have important programmatic impacts.
International soccer seems to be suffering from a mysterious heart disease as Barcelona star Sergio Aguero tearfully retires from soccer due to a heart condition after he collapsed on field during a match.
We have some breaking and tragic news tonight out of Alto, where we have learned a high school student has died while playing in a basketball game. Sophomore Devontae Mumphrey collapsed on the court early in tonight's game.
17-year-old Claire Crawford, a senior, suddenly collapses.
I had pain down my left arm and my heart felt like it was working really hard, but I just assumed I was out of shape.
A fellow teammate found Avery Gilbert collapsed and not breathing in a dorm entryway. He died at the hospital.
Collapses mid-game. Then kind of slowed down a little bit. Oh, look out, look out. And he collapses.
It's not just the heart issues. I mean, like, without delving into your private affairs, you've got Bell's palsy at the moment, which hopefully you're on the back end of that. But there's a bit of that going around as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's got heart issues and Bell's palsy. It's gone through the roof since the boosters.
There's a lot of this going on in world sport at the moment.
Well, in the world.
World sport?
Yeah, I think
a lot of athletes have got these issues.
So that... Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I never got a vaccine. I never wore a mask. I never did any of that shit. I got Bell's palsy during 2021. I got Bell's palsy.
You did?
Yeah. And there was I don't know if it's in this video, but there was a thing talking about how if you got the vaccine, then you're shedding the vaccine. So if someone else is next to you and you got the vaccine, you're actually shedding shit onto the other person.
Huh. I don't know nothing about that. I didn't hear nothing about Bell's palsy.
Yeah.
The other concerning thing, right, is I don't know, and I'm assuming they're going to talk about it, maybe not, is the great drop off in birth rate, in fertility after the vaccine. So, weird. It's kind of weird. Somebody say it's strange.
Yeah. Back to these idiot athletes.
Well,
not idiot athletes.
Yeah, it's not the athlete's fault, dude.
Yeah, because these are like high school stars and shit.
Right.
So I didn't mean idiot. The professional stars are the ones who are idiots. Anyway, here we go. Oh, she said that she felt like she was just out of shape.
Yeah, that's
a high school volleyball girl. Bro, I was fucking almost 400 pounds. I never fucking collapsed.
Well,
and you forced me to play football a few times. I would have been on the fucking floor dead.
I never forced you to play football.
At the beach, we played football.
Oh, we played catch. We didn't play football.
No. When TJ was there, we played football. We actually played football.
We played.
Trust me.
We threw the ball and somebody caught it. That's
it
catch.
was a game.
Nobody tackled anyone.
David. It was when David was there. We played.
Nobody tackled anyone.
Nobody tackled anybody.
Yeah, that's not football.
I'm saying we played. And I would have died how fucking big I was, what I'm saying. Right.
Are you, Brownie, referring to the booster shots and the booster contracting?
A new study on the COVID-19 vaccines found more cases of heart inflammation than expected among members of our U.S. military. It is raising questions.
A new study describes how 23 service members later developed chest pain and sought medical attention. Tests showed it was myocarditis.
Myocarditis, that's the name given to inflammation of the heart muscles. Vaccine
was myocarditis.
Myocarditis, that's the name given to inflammation of the heart muscles. Vaccine study of 23 million show risk of heart problems from Moderna and Pfizer jab. The risk of heart inflammation after receiving doses of the Moderna or Pfizer COVID vaccines has been laid bare in a huge new study of 23 million people.
We are definitely seeing in all these age groups that are getting mandated vaccines, we're seeing cardiac arrest.
As someone in entertainment, we have to get vaccinated.
We have to
really.
do it.
Nice. So nice.
Even just yesterday, a radiation oncologist came up to me and said, "You're right. Something is wrong. I am seeing cancers that we normally keep in check, and we know we can manage this cancer, and the patient will get 2, 3, 5, 6 good years of life. But they got their shot or they got their booster, and then 2 months later, their cancer is a wildfire. And these are things that we've managed easily in the past." So again, as a pathologist, I go to what's the pathophysiologic mechanism? What's causing this? What's going awry? And there was a really good paper by Dr. Fosse et al. Out of the Netherlands looking at the Pfizer vaccines, and they did a pretty good analysis of the immune system after the shots. And their conclusion was alarming and concerning in the sense that it said, we're seeing an alteration of the innate immune response.
No one should ever take these jabs, ever, under any circumstance whatsoever. Everyone who has taken the jabs is blood clotting. If you don't believe me, there's a way you can find out. Take what's called a D-dimer test. What that does is that detects blood clotting at the microscopic level. They're cutting full blood clots out of people right now.
Well, relatives have said that Lisa developed severe headaches a week after receiving the AstraZeneca vaccine and then became severely ill a few days later. She died at Newcastle's RVI last Friday afternoon, having been treated in intensive care for blood clots and bleeding.
I went to the pharmacy the other day. I got a booster shot.
Bob Saget has died.
Rapper and actor DMX has died. The hospital says he suffered catastrophic cardiac arrest.
The FDA has imposed new restrictions on Johnson & Johnson's coronavirus vaccine. The agency says the risk of rare but potentially life-threatening blood clots means it should only be administered when other COVID-19 vaccines can't be used. About 17 million Americans have received the Johnson & Johnson shot.
The last 3 weeks I've looked after 3 people under
30. On Friday, I looked after a guy who died suddenly, and he had a post-mortem. So we were kind of waiting for a sudden death in a youngster that had a post-mortem to take a closer look. I'm going to hold it up. This is a glass of formaldehyde with just some that were pulled out of the arteries to get the pump in. The thick one here, this one here came out of the aorta from the heart. They take the shape of the vessels that they're growing in. Totally, and they gradually fill the vessels as they grow. And these, obviously, that's what's killed him.
They think the government wouldn't give them something that's experimental.
That's the main thing. Most people cannot accept that the government will give you anything that might potentially kill you.
Which is fucking bonkers, yo. Because I don't trust those motherfuckers at all. I don't know how anybody trusts them. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it never will.
How do you think, I mean, because there's a lot of people who are actual good people in the medical field, right? And how do you think, let's put ourselves in their shoes for a minute, right? You go to, let's say you're a doctor or a nurse. You go to medical school or, nursing school, whatever the case may be. And you're taught, things that were scientifically figured out or studied, right? And then all of a sudden they're pushing this, right? And unfortunately, I believe there was a lot of doctors and or nurses who thought they were probably doing the right thing by either pushing this or administering it because they thought they were helping save lives. But at the end of the day, like, if you were pushing it on people, you're a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
And if you were doing it just because you thought you were doing the right thing, I would assume that there's probably some guilt tied to a lot of people after this whole thing.
There should be, because if you're a doctor or a nurse, you should be learning. You shouldn't just be taking. They told me to give you this, so I gave it to you. You're a fucking doctor. You're supposed to be helping people. You don't just fucking blindly believe what the fucking higher up idiots.
I would say that the doctors should take some accountability. I feel like nurses aren't really unfortunately, unless they're a nurse practitioner, they're not in the position to make those calls. I mean, they're literally, their licenses and careers are on the line or when they're following doctors' orders, literally doctors' orders. So
for sure, so they should not do research on stuff, and they should should just dance in the fucking hallway while people are dying. But the hospitals are so overwhelmed, but these comedy actors have to fucking dance in the fucking hallway.
Yeah, there's something to that. I mean, you got a lot of free time on your hands if you're doing TikTok dances at work. That's all I'm gonna say.
During COVID,
I wish I had that
when
kind
the
of free
hospitals
time.
were overrun.
I wish I had that kind of free time at work to organize a TikTok dance. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
good for you.
They were
that you can.
Choreographed.
I remember.
No, they might show them on this. They probably will show it on this. All right, back to this zombie dude. Apparently.
People vaccinated are getting sick.
What? You need a new booster. What? Who wants a shot? Who wants to see a ball game? Ooh, 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 ooh.
Just get vaccinated, baby. The Raiders are requiring all fans to be vaccinated to attend games.
Alrighty, okay. I haven't seen this. I haven't watched this yet, so I didn't even know they were going to do this.
Hold on. Let me ask you a few questions, Joe.
Okay.
Joe, my whole life that I've known you, you weren't really into basketball too much, but you were into one sport. What was that sport, Joe?
Football.
Okay. What
NFL.
All-time favorite player?
Tim Brown.
For my wedding, I bought all my groomsmen one of my favorite shoes. I did not get you the favorite shoes because
you did give me the favorite shoes, but you kept them and got me something different.
No. I did not. Remember? I got you something completely different.
You bought me shoes that I could wear, though.
No, I bought Mike a pair of shoes, and Mike already had them, so he let you wear his shoes
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah.
So because I knew you did not give a fuck about some Jordans, I got you something else that you would
Raider
appreciate.
jersey, Charles Woodson Raider jersey.
Yeah, yep, that's right. I did. Okay. I remember us watching a lot of football when we moved in together.
Yep.
I remember one game that we accidentally may have ingested something.
Edibles.
And a 5-minute play took 6 hours to develop.
Yeah, dude, because there was a fight in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Dude, I went back. I remember us sitting there. It felt like hours.
Yeah.
I went back and rewatched it. The fight was literally a minute and 17 seconds. Like,
Okay, so back on track here. COVID happens. You move out of prior to COVID, you left San Diego.
Oh, yeah, I went to LA.
Yep, you went up to LA, and then COVID happens, and
was
you were
stupid, and I needed to get out of California.
Yeah, you're like, I'm getting out of California. You move to the Mecca for you, right?
Yep.
The Raiders just moved to Las Vegas. Just win, baby.
Move with them.
You moved with them.
Before I could watch one fucking game in that stadium, this is what happens.
Fans to be vaccinated to attend games.
Must be vaccinated to attend games.
Starting tomorrow, they will be hosting a 3-day vaccination event at Busch Stadium.
That's for you. Go see the ball game.
So, before this Raider fan fucking talks, that's why I stopped watching football. Yes, I think it's rigged and scripted now. I didn't think that then.
No,
I
you
stopped
did not.
watching it because they wanted me to get a fucking shot. Forced me.
Told you had to go into their stadium. You had to be vaccinated.
Yep. So I completely stopped watching pretty much all sports when that happened.
I remember quite distinctly having to be vaccinated to go to a lot of events.
Yeah.
That I went to that I've never been vaccinated for. Photoshop.
Yeah.
Can be your friend.
Okay. I didn't even. Bro, but it wasn't like, oh, I could sneak my way in and not have to get the shot. It was the fact that they were literally murdering people to get them to watch their clown show.
Yeah.
For a team that literally loses every single motherfucking week. You want me to put some poison in my body to watch your fucking faggoty ass team lose? Fuck you, Mark Davis. I hope you fucking croak.
I remember going to see Joe Coy. Had to prove I was vaccinated to go see Joe Coy. Definitely never been vaccinated. There's a plethora, but I remember that one specifically.
Yeah, I was about principle. I wasn't about faking it. I was about principle.
Nah, fuck
them.
them.
If you want to force me to get a shot, you're not getting a dime of my fucking money.
Fuck them.
All right, here's this fucking idiot who's clearly a Raider fan because he's got that gay fucking logo on his hat.
If I have to show my vaccine card, if I'm not vaccinated, if I have to get a shot there at the stadium, whatever I've got to do to get in there and see that game, I'm willing to do it. And some people might say, well, it's just a football game, etc. But I mean, for some of us, this is life. This is what we live for.
Who wants to work again?
Yo, I am so happy I didn't fucking go the other way like that guy.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Jim Brewer's calling them all fucking.
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin. If you want to do business with the federal government, vaccinate your workforce.
That's for you.
You got the vaccination? Are you okay? I mean, you see, no, it works. Or or the mom and dad, or the neighbor, or when you go to church, or when you're. No, I really mean it.
Who wants their kids educated?
So I took the day off myself, and so I think it's important to have that quality time together, and explain what we're doing here.
What's in the shot? It's safe, don't worry.
Here's a brand new, sealed, perfectly sealed, brand new box of the J&J vaccine. You can see here, I'm going to break this open, and perfectly on top is this perfectly normal package insert. lot of safety and efficacy data. In fact, all of the normal information that we would find in a package insert, like the ingredients, that would all be found right here in the package insert.
This is why people hesitate to take it.
Why is it intentionally blank if it's all the safety studies?
They're inside.
They're inside of it?
This folds out.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll go and get one of these 35 pens.
Yes, I love that he doesn't know yet.
I've got to get online and find it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I already know that it's intentionally blank. My last question is, how is it informed consent when all of the safety studies, placebo safety studies, are not listed from the manufacturer?
That's a great question. I would talk to CVS about that because.
Okay. So if we don't know what we're injecting into ourselves, I don't understand how that's informed consent.
That you're exactly right,
okay.
and you're exactly right,
Yeah.
and you are correct. I should not be giving these vaccines at all.
Okay. Oh, why are you giving them?
Because I am told to, and that's how. Because I am told to, and
Must be magic. It's all blank. The whole thing.
All right, so we're gonna stop it
because he's told to, and the Nazi soldiers were told to kill the Jews, and that's why we do things, because we're told to. Yeah. Fuck morals. Fuck your moral high ground, buddy. You were told to do it. Just go execute. Literally, pun intended.
We're gonna do it for this episode. We'll pick up next week. How do you feel, bud? So far, you already knew all this shit was bullshit anyway. So this is really for the viewers.
I did. I knew it was bullshit. I feel bad for people who are bamboozled.
I don't feel bad for them.
I know I do. I do, because it was not informed consent, and unfortunately, there are people who trust people in the world.
There are people who trust people.
You know? And unfortunately, I grew up in a situation where I was trained to question everything and not trust anyone or even people you should trust. So,
true.
You
can't trust. You never truly know anybody, and you definitely don't know the G-men. So, all right. So we'll pick up next week. Godspeed, bro.
Godspeed.
You've reached the offices of the Godspeed podcast. We are currently closed. Please leave your information and someone will return your call within 24 business days. Thank you.
Why would anybody, I was thinking on this while I was editing this video, why would anybody put something in their body to watch some kind of form of entertainment? It doesn't make any sense. And if you have done this, I pity you.